I first fished the River Severn at Hyley in June 2015. The river was running low and very clear, and it took me a couple of days to find a few spots where I fancied fishing. I chose to fish a peg where the water funneled down into a channel about 4 foot deep, and it was the quickest part on the stretch. So I baited up using my usual methods and bait. You can see these on my videos, Barbel Made Easy and Barbel Made Easy Part 2. And I began to fish about 4 hours later.
With a bit bottom, it'll explode and spread its all down there, hopefully attract some fish up.
I fished this peg for around 5 hours, from 4 o'clock in the afternoon till 9 o'clock at night. I had 11 barbel and 2 chub. This is the biggest one I caught on the day.
Wow! That's a lot better than the ones I was catching yesterday. Oh God! £9 3 ounce, well made up.
On my return to the Severn in July 2016, the river was up 3 or 4 foot and was running with a lot of colour. I'd watched plenty of anglers on the bank trying to cast to the middle and failing to hold bottom, so I decided to fish the margins, and I found a nice smooth glide and cast out to the edge of the crease. I must apologise, in the next section my hay fever was playing up.
I made up a PVA bag of chopped boilies. I've left a long tag end front knot. Cut down. Tied onto a running ring. Now, last time I was down here on Severn, the river was really low, and I'm going to say it's risen about 18 inch since yesterday. I say that because there were a paddle stuck out from the canoe, and now it's underwater, so a good 18 inch, possibly 2 foot, using a stone weight that I've made myself, 3.5 ounce. tied the PVA bag on to my running ring. I've got, what, 18 inch, 2 foot uplink, barrel boiler. Actually looking at that, I think there's a bit too much clearance on that from up to boiler, so I'm just going to shorten that air and start fishing again. I'll shorten the air, that way hopefully I'll get a decent hook hold. We had a knock, weren't a lot of weed on line, it brought the weight out of position, so I'm presuming it were a fish. It weren't enough weed stuck on line to have moved it, so let's give it a whirl now.
As usual, I'd just made a roll up to keep the midges at bay, and the rod tip went round. £5.5, a River Severn Barbel. This was the only fish of a 3-hour session. I think I'd made my ground bait mix too dry, and as it had cast in, the bag had burst and swept most of it down river. So I went home and returned 2 days later.
I've mixed some pellet, ground bait, well the same mix as I usually use, with a few crushed up boilies. This time, as well as my homemade boilies, I'm using some DNA switch. I'm giving them a try.
I didn't get back down to the river till Thursday evening, and I found it had risen another 2, almost 3 foot. I did find a lovely little black header, and decided to fish there. I made my ground bait mix a little wetter than usual and opted for a swim feeder, casting perhaps half a rod length out from the margin, right on the edge of the crease. From overcast and showery to bright and sunny in space of 5 minutes. And with the sun came the first fish of the session. About £6.5. Well, £6.5 on scale, well, £6.11 on scale. I recast to the same spot and within minutes I was in again. Another 6-pounder. That's my third fish. I've fished twice and altogether about 6 hours worth. Another 6-pounder. Well happy. Just angle that one to me. Can switch that off now. I'm fishing the third swim of my trip. I'm here for a couple of hours. I've moved about 50-60 yards further upstream than where I were yesterday, and I'm going to give it a go. So let's sit back and see what happens. The smooth glide just from the edge of that bit of grass in the river where it comes down, maybe 4 yards out, 5 yards out, and that's where I've got my bait, just upstream from my rod, virtually on level with my rod tip, and I've let a little bit of extra line out so it lies flat on the bottom, and that way it doesn't get pulled by the current. And we'll see if I can have a barbel out of here.
But you see, he's not ready yet. Another 5.5, 6 pounder. Not going to weigh it.
If you'd like to know more about my tactics, tackle, rigs and bait for barbel fishing, check out Barbel Made Easy and Barbel Made Easy Part 2. Or subscribe to my channel, Rod Clark. This is the cover photo.